Good morning, everybody. This is Coley here, the Irish Hitman. I am waiting on class to start. It's the first day of classes here at the University of Alabama, and I have a little bit of time, so I figured I would update you all on what I've got going on in the gym as far as meets go and everything else. The meet that I'm planning on is the APF Alabama State Powerlifting Competition in Moody, Alabama on December 7th. I will be competing in the Classic Raw division because the Raw division does not allow knee wraps or knee sleeves or anything, and I feel a lot more comfortable with using knee wraps in my squats due to just repetitive motion injury from work. You know, it's nothing major, but it is there. And also, I played football all through high school, and I've got a little bit of mess up there from that. And I would just rather, be able to protect myself and be more comfortable using the knee sleeves and knee wraps and such. On that subject, I am planning on ordering some SBD knee sleeves from Anderson Powerlifting, just for in the gym, doing the lighter sets and everything, just to keep my knees warm, keep them protected, all that good stuff. My plan going into this meet is, right now I'm running the high volume phase of the Corte 3x3, which, if you're unfamiliar, that's you do squat, you do your bench, you do your deadlift 3 days a week. You hit all three days a week, and I really enjoyed this program when I ran it back in March and April. I saw some really good gains. My form went through the roof just because you're hitting those lifts over and over and over, and it really gets your form up. But also, I like the high volume, the little bit of hypertrophy kind of thing going on. I'm kind of incorporating some stuff that I've learned. I'm still a fairly new lifter as far as powerlifting goes, and I'm incorporating some of the stuff that I learned while I was using Jonathan Bird's big program as far as grip on deadlifts and bench press and stance on squats and the low pin pulls and pulling from those 45-pound rubber plates for deadlifts, and doing some deficit deads and all that, just to kind of change it up, work different parts of my lifts a little bit, and that's the beauty of the high volume, is you have plenty of sets to go into it. It's 6 to 8 sets during this high volume phase of every lift, and that's 24 sets a week potentially, which is really awesome, and it gives you a lot of time to really work with that. After I finish up this high volume phase, I will be switching back to Jonathan Bird's big program. I really enjoyed it. I really liked the way it worked, 4-day-a-week split with the accessory work for bench one day, keep your arms and your shoulders healthy. I really liked the way it had me going into the meet. I felt really strong. I didn't feel overtrained, overworked, or anything, and I made a pretty good pull. I missed 550 by just that much on my deadlift, and I hit a 325 bench. I probably could have done more had I not messed up commands on my first 2 attempts at 300. This next meet I do, I will not miss those commands. I will practice a little bit more with those. As far as any other meets, I might do a push-pull. There's one in Phoenix City on November 2nd, which works out a little bit because I was hoping to be in Atlanta on Halloween time, and I can just swing back through there on the 2nd, do this push-pull, have a good time, meet some new folks, and, just see where I'm at. It's about 5-6 weeks out from the meet on the 7th. So that would be really cool to, get a handle on where am I, what's my progress looking like. I probably wouldn't, go too heavy, just something to keep it fresh and get the commands worked out and all. As far as conditioning goes, I'm going to be conditioning more. Something I noticed at this push-pull meet I did was by the time I went up for my second attempt even, I definitely felt it on my third attempt of deadlift, I was feeling gassed, I was feeling winded, I was not a happy camper. My classes are about 2 miles away from where I park. It's about 1.8, 2 miles. So I'll be walking to and from class whenever possible. You know, sometimes there is rain, so I will catch the bus those days. If it's too terribly hot, I'll catch the bus just because Alabama heat is miserable and I don't need to go getting heat stroke or anything. But I'll be increasing my conditioning that way by walking every morning. Gives me a chance to wake up and get ready for the day and get focused for class. I'm also running a 5K training program. You know those little apps on your phone. I've got one of those downloaded. I'm running on the treadmill doing that just because it's real easy to knock out. You know, also if I, don't have access to a treadmill that day or whatever, I can just go out and run. Just hop on the road and go for it. I might add in, my weighted vest for some of those runs just to kind of get things a little heavier and a little harder and, just kind of put in a little more effort on those days, depending on how I feel. But that's what I'm doing for conditioning. As far as nutrition goes, I stay pretty low carb. I'm cutting back on the milk intake. I've been 5-6 gallons a week for the past 4 or 5 months, which is great. I've really enjoyed it. I've put on some massive gains. I actually feel really good. I haven't had any adverse issues from it, as far as like somebody mentioned to me that they had some skin issues when they did it. I haven't really had that. The only thing is it gets a little expensive, but food's expensive in general. It's a good way to get protein easily. It's a good way to get your fats in, and I really enjoy that. So I might be hitting that up, staying on that. Other than that, I stay pretty low carb. I'll eat anywhere from 3/4 to 1.5 cups of rice at night with my meal from work. I work in a Chinese restaurant, so rice is kind of staple. So that's not a big deal. I'm cutting back food at bedtime just because I have to get to sleep earlier to get to class in the mornings, which kind of sucks, but it's okay. I can deal with that. Outside of lifting, work is going well. I'll be starting up doing doubles on Sundays, which, that'll be kind of a rest day or maybe a cardio day between shifts, just to, let my body repair. And it's really tough when you're working a double to do a workout in between just because of time constraints. Down here in Alabama, it's football season starting up next week, and that's going to be going on every Saturday. I'm looking forward to it. I got tickets to all the home games. I'm really looking forward to being in there. And really, besides that, that's all I've got. I'm feeling healthy, I'm feeling strong, I'm really excited to be getting into this meet. I'm excited to be pushing towards this December 7th goal. There's lots of potential, there's lots of room to grow in the next 15 weeks, about 14, 15 weeks. It'll be fun, and, I've wanted to do a full meet since February 23rd when I went and was a spectator at a local meet. I already was kind of on the fence, trying to decide, do I want to actually compete in powerlifting, or do I just want to lift for enjoyment? I went and was a spectator and definitely caught the bug. I was just blown away, and I've fallen in love with this sport. I never thought that I'd be 24 years old and still a competitive athlete. I thought those days were over when I graduated high school. So it's a pretty amazing thing to be a part of. But anyways, I'm going to pack up here and get ready to head inside. If you have any questions, comments, just want to say hi, you can find me. I'm Irish Hitman on the Muscle and Brawn forums. and I am Irish Zombie 205 on Twitter. I would be glad to hear from you. I'll put the links to those in the doobly-doo, and we'll see how that happens. If you have any comments, leave them on the video. I'll try to answer your questions as best as I can. Y'all have a good day, and roll tide.